There is an ancient place, a land of misty swamps and deep forests. These are the lands of the Balts, where gods walk among men, and creatures of myth still roam free.
Godsworn is a very ambitious project from the two-person development team Thunder Oak Interactive based out of the Netherlands. It's a hero-based real-time strategy game that is currently in early access. The world of Godsworn is fantasy in nature, but based in a very real time period that started in the 8th century and lasted for about 400 years. What I'm speaking of is the Christianization of Scandinavia. It's a period that isn't as rife with warfare as portrayed by Viking-oriented media such as the TV show Vikings, its sequel Valhalla, and The Last Kingdom on Netflix to name a few, but it's hard to argue that it isn't an entertaining setting to explore, and Godsworn relishes in it.
You shall be rewarded for your deeds with salvation, as I, Bishop Meinhard, disappear into the night to ensure our divine mission.
The story focuses on sun goddess Saule and her untrustworthy former lover, Menes, the god of the moon. These two are the heads of Godsworn's Nordic pantheon, and when Christian men begin settling their lands, they're forced to work together to expel the Christian crusaders. In this game, the basic RTS structure of base building and warfare is augmented with named heroes leading the charge. It's the epitome of an RTS subgenre that hasn't had much love lately, but historically has had some really fantastic titles like Warcraft 3, Age of Mythology, and the Warhammer 40k Dawn of War games. These games, specifically Warcraft 3, also hold the early DNA of MOBAs like Dota and League of Legends, and some of that DNA is on display in Godsworn. As the player explores and wages war, their hero character levels up and gains abilities, but these improvements only last for the current scenario. Every new mission, the heroes return to level 1. At first this may seem tedious, but quickly the player will start to value certain godly powers over others, and will develop strategies for leveling. Another familiar element from Warcraft 3 and Age of Mythology are mythological units like werewolves, dragons, and more. Feel underpowered? Recruit some myth units. Want to break down a gate? Get some myth units. Tired of your hero dying again and again? Give that motherfucker some myth units. These powerful creatures are really able to turn the tide of battle, and rightfully so, require a little extra work to start recruiting. Last but not least, one of the most enjoyable qualities of Godsworn is its inclination towards cooperative play. The devs could have just added a co-op mode after the fact, but the game's campaign is built from the ground up to be played with a friend. Each campaign scenario has 2 hero characters and therefore has 2 allied armies to take on the invaders. The campaign can be played solo with AI controlling the allied forces, but the game was clearly designed with cooperative play in mind, and it's this quality that perhaps could see Godsworn eventually outshining its influences. At this time there are only a handful of campaign missions available, but they're very fun to play and worth going through repeatedly with friends. There are also a number of skirmish maps, and a recent update just added a co-op map for up to 4 players. It's clear that Thunder Oak is hard at work on whatever is next for Godsworn. For more updates on this and other early access games, stay tuned here at Hackathon News.